Hello, gladiator of growth. Yes, I'm speaking to you. The one who feels drained, tired, burned out. This isn't weakness, your energy is being stolen, not spent with intention. Let's confront something immediately. In today's world, most people are exhausted. Not from physical labor, but because their energy is leaking in 100 different directions. Just look around. People are endlessly scrolling, comparing, arguing, chasing validation, replying to negativity, wasting time in useless relationships. They go to sleep tired and wake with anxiety. Life isn't inherently hard, their inner energy is misused. A lion doesn't chase every animal it sees. It chooses. It waits. It conserves its energy for what matters most, the kill. You, however, are giving lion energy to mosquitoes. People believe they need motivation, but what they truly require is energy mastery. The Stoics grasped this thousands of years ago. They knew that controlling your emotions, your reactions, your desires, and your thoughts was the true path to power. Not loud power, but silent power, the kind that keeps you calm when everything's on fire. The kind that makes people wonder, why doesn't this person break down like everyone else? In this video, we'll walk through 7 brutal Stoic rules to teach you how to master your energy, protect your peace, and sharpen your focus. This isn't soft advice or unrealistic philosophy, but ancient, raw wisdom that still applies today, perhaps now more than ever. If you're tired of feeling drained, if you're ready to guard your mental space like a warrior guards his shield, then listen closely. These aren't just rules. These are mental weapons. You can start applying them today. Energy is more important than time. You can waste a whole day and bounce back, but waste your energy on the wrong people, thoughts, or actions, and it can cost you your entire purpose. The Stoics didn't have phones or social media, but they had enemies, distractions, suffering, and injustice. And still, they trained their minds to remain composed, intentional, and disciplined. Because, as Epictetus once said, you become what you give your attention to. So, the real question is, what are you giving your attention to every single day? That answer reveals everything. So, don't skip any part. Like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next piece of wisdom. If you're serious about this transformation, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments, *I master my energy. I master my life, *. Let's begin this journey. Number 1, cut energy vampires without guilt. When someone acts poorly, they act that way to themselves. Don't take it personally, Marcus Aurelius. Let's start with a harsh truth. You cannot master your energy while keeping toxic people in your life. It's impossible. No matter how disciplined you are, if you let energy vampires stay in your circle, they will drain you. Who are they? They're not just rude or loud people. They can be quiet manipulators, people who constantly complain, guilt-trip you, make you feel small, or never show love but always expect your presence. Here's the Stoic truth: you owe no one access to your peace. Not out of guilt. Not out of shared history. Not even out of blood. This is where people struggle. They confuse niceness with weakness. They tolerate dysfunction in the name of being good, but goodness without boundaries becomes self-destruction. Seneca said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. If your circle isn't doing that, if they're not making you stronger, calmer, or more focused, then you're not surrounded by allies. You're surrounded by distractions. You may say, but I've known them for years. Let me ask you this, are they helping you grow? Or are they keeping you stuck in a version of yourself you're trying to escape? The Stoics would tell you, energy is not infinite. Every person you allow near you is either fuel or poison. Cutting someone off doesn't mean hate. It means choosing your peace over drama, your purpose over pity, your growth over guilt. You don't need to announce your silence. You don't need to justify your distance. You just move with calm detachment and let nature do the rest. That's how you start mastering your energy, not by adding more motivation, but by removing what doesn't belong. And remember, silence is power. Let them wonder why you're unavailable. Let them feel your absence. You're building something now. You don't owe explanations. You owe yourself peace. Number 2, control what you feed your mind. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind, Marcus Aurelius. Let's be honest. If someone sat beside you and whispered toxic words in your ear all day, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. Everyone's better than you. You'd call that person abusive. But what if that voice is your own? And what if it's being shaped daily by what you consume? The Stoics knew something we often forget: the mind is like a garden. Whatever seeds you plant, thoughts, beliefs, words, will grow. So, if you're constantly feeding your brain with drama, distraction, negativity, and noise, don't be surprised when your inner world feels chaotic and exhausted. Ask yourself, what are you watching every day? What kind of music are you letting into your soul? What accounts do you follow online? Who are you listening to? These aren't just small inputs, they're programming your perception. They're shaping your emotions. They're teaching your nervous system what normal feels like. You can't expect peace if all you consume is chaos. This is what Marcus Aurelius meant. The quality of your mind doesn't happen by accident. It happens by habitual exposure. Think of it like this: you're in the gym trying to build muscle, but every time you leave, someone injects poison into your body. How long will you last? It's the same with your energy. If you feed your mind junk all day, don't be shocked when your spirit feels weak. This isn't about being perfect or robotic. It's about being intentional. One of the greatest ways to master your energy is to curate your input. Replace gossip with growth. Replace comparison with contemplation. Replace arguments with understanding. Replace endless scrolling with short, meaningful silence. Start small. Every time you're about to click something mindless, pause. Ask, is this fueling my energy or draining it? Over time, your focus will sharpen. Your thoughts will slow down. You'll notice your anxiety decreasing, not because life got easier, but because your inner environment got cleaner. As Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. You might look strange to others, not keeping up with trends, not watching the latest drama, not joining meaningless debates. But here's the trade-off: peace, focus, power. So, protect your mind like a fortress, because what you allow in will eventually come out. Number 3, master the art of pause before reacting. If someone does wrong, the harm is to themselves. Your job is to maintain your character, Epictetus. Most people lose their energy not through what happens to them, but through how they react. Someone cuts them off in traffic, they explode. A person ignores their message, they spiral. One rude comment, and suddenly their whole mood is gone. It's not the event, it's the reaction that costs energy. And the Stoics were masters at one thing: the pause. That tiny, sacred space between trigger and response. Think of how many arguments, regrets, and emotional crashes could be avoided if we all paused for just 5 seconds. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This isn't weakness, this is discipline. It's easy to lash out. It's strong to observe, to breathe, to respond wisely. Why is this so important for mastering your energy? Because every emotional reaction is an energy expense. When you argue with someone who doesn't deserve your attention, when you respond to hate with anger, when you let your peace get hijacked by the careless words of others, you're handing over your energy like currency. Imagine your energy is like money in your wallet. Would you hand out $100 bills to random strangers yelling in the street? No. Then stop giving your mental energy to every trigger. Here's a simple practice: when someone disrespects you, pause. Don't respond. Breathe. Ask, does this person's opinion change my truth? When life throws chaos at you, pause. Don't assume it's personal. Ask, will this matter in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 years? The power is in the pause. The pause buys time. Time brings clarity. Clarity brings wise action. That's how you maintain energy integrity. The modern world teaches you to react fast, click fast, respond fast, get mad fast. But the Stoic teaches you to slow down. Because the slower you are to react, the more powerful your action becomes. It's not about being numb. It's about being in control. So next time you feel the heat rising, don't suppress it. Observe it. Let it pass through like a wave. Let silence be your strength. And when you're ready, respond with intention or walk away with power. That's Stoicism. And that's how warriors protect their peace. Drop this affirmation in the comments: my pause is my power. Number 4, be ruthless with your priorities. If you don't have a consistent goal in life, you can't live it in a consistent way. Marcus Aurelius. Let's make something painfully clear: you're not tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too many things that don't matter. Most people waste their energy on low-priority distractions while their real purpose dies quietly in the background. You say yes to tasks you don't care about. You help people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You scroll through social media for an hour but won't spend 15 minutes on your goals. That's not a time problem. That's a priority problem. The Stoics believed in clarity of aim. Know what matters. Cut what doesn't. Don't live like a leaf in the wind, bouncing from one thing to the next, directionless and drained. Marcus Aurelius said it best: you must build your life action by action and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible. The goal is not perfection. The goal is alignment. Start asking yourself, does this move me closer to the life I respect, or further away from it? If it doesn't align with your values, your peace, or your purpose, it's a distraction, not a duty. You don't owe everyone your time. You don't have to reply instantly. You don't have to join every plan, every call, every conversation. People may not understand. Let them be confused. You're not here to be understood by the masses. You're here to master your life. And to do that, you must protect your time like a gatekeeper protects a fortress. Every yes is a no to something else. If you're saying yes to everything, then your energy is being stolen by nothing. Here's a small rule to apply starting today. Every night before bed, write down 3 non-negotiable priorities for tomorrow. Just 3, not 10. And when the day starts, guard those 3 like they're sacred. If you complete them, you've won. Everything else is bonus. This is how you move with intention. This is how you stop being busy and start being effective. Seneca warned us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. You don't need more time. You need more focus. So be ruthless with your priorities, because your energy is a sacred currency. Spend it wisely or watch your life get spent on things that never mattered. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I focus only on what truly matters. Number 5, say no without apology. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. There's a hidden reason so many people feel overwhelmed. They've been trained to feel guilty for saying no. You say yes when you don't want to. You agree to plans that exhaust you. You respond to messages out of obligation, not joy. And worst of all, you prioritize other people's comfort over your own mental health. Let's end that today. One of the most powerful ways to master your energy is learning how to say no firmly, kindly, and without guilt. The Stoics weren't people pleasers. They didn't bend to every emotional request. They stood by their principles, and they let others feel what they needed to feel. Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because standing in your truth will confuse people who benefit from your silence. Because choosing peace over pleasing will offend those who expect your compliance. But that's the cost of energy mastery. You have to reclaim your time and dignity without apology. Let's get practical. You don't need to say, I'm so sorry. Maybe another time. I wish I could. You can simply say, no, that doesn't work for me. Or, no, I'm focusing on something important right now. Or even just, no. Silence after no is not rudeness. It's self-respect. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. If you keep saying yes to things that drain you, people will assume you're always available to be drained. But when you draw clear boundaries, when you prioritize your well-being, when you say no from a place of inner clarity, you teach others that your energy is not for sale. And guess what? The right people will respect you more. The wrong people will leave. And both are blessings. So stop explaining your boundaries. Start enforcing them. Every time you say no to something unaligned, you're saying yes to your peace, your goals, your rest, and your future. This is real power, not loud, not dramatic, just steady, grounded, stoic. And don't expect applause. Expect resistance. But stay firm anyway. As Marcus Aurelius said, do what's right. The rest doesn't matter. So say no and don't flinch, because your future self is begging you to stop betraying yourself. Drop this affirmation in the comments: my no is a full sentence. Number 6, guard your morning like a soldier guards his post. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Here's something no one tells you: the first hour of your day shapes the rest of it. Yet, most people give their most powerful mental state, their fresh morning energy, to chaos. You wake up and instantly check your phone, texts, notifications, social media. Before your feet even touch the ground, your nervous system is already overstimulated. You go from sleep to stress in under a minute. That's not just a bad habit. That's spiritual sabotage. The Stoics treated mornings as sacred, a time for reflection, a moment to prepare the mind for the battles ahead. Not a rush, not a scroll, but a ritual. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself every morning, not because he had time, he was the emperor of Rome, but because he knew the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. So, let's bring this to you. If your first thoughts are complaints, if your first action is scrolling, if your first words are reacting, then you're handing over your energy before you've even claimed it. What's the solution? Create a calm, stoic morning ritual. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be intentional. Here's a simple one. 1. No phone for the first 30 minutes, this is non-negotiable. 2. Breathe deeply before you speak, focus on 10 calm breaths. 3. Journal or reflect, ask yourself, what matters today? What will I not allow to control me? 4. Move your body, even 5 minutes of stretching or walking will help awaken the mind. 5. Repeat a stoic thought, choose one quote, one truth. Let that guide you. You don't have to be perfect. But you do have to be present. This sacred time in the morning is where you build your armor. It's where you decide who you will be today, not what the world wants you to be, but who you are at your highest level. You'll notice that on days you protect your morning, you're stronger, calmer, more focused, less reactive, more intentional. And the opposite is true. When you let chaos in first, your day becomes a battlefield you're not armored for. So protect that first hour. That's where your energy leadership begins. As the Stoics believed, your external world reflects your internal discipline. And if you own your mornings, you will own your life. Drop this affirmation in the comments: my mornings are sacred. I start strong. I stay calm. Number 7, stop explaining yourself to everyone. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Here's something heavy. You are wasting more energy than you realize by explaining your every move to people who will never understand your mission. Why you cut someone off. Why you didn't go to the party. Why you're quiet. Why you're focused. Why you chose peace instead of drama. But let me tell you this, you don't need to explain growth to people committed to misunderstanding you. The Stoics believed in one thing: let your actions speak. Not because silence is passive, but because silence is dignified. It says, I know who I am. I don't need your approval to walk my path. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it. You are that rock. And every time you stop to explain your boundaries, your healing, your purpose, you are watering weeds, because the people who genuinely care won't need explanations. They'll respect your peace without needing a presentation. The people who don't respect it won't accept your reasons anyway. So conserve your energy. Every time you defend your solitude, you drain your power. Every time you justify your discipline, you weaken its edge. Let people think what they want. Let them say what they will. While they speak, you act. This isn't cold. This is Stoic. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to walk your path with clarity, even if it means walking alone. Let's bring it back to your real life. You don't owe an explanation for healing. You don't owe an explanation for disappearing to protect your peace. You don't owe an explanation for prioritizing your energy. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. That's it. Decide who you are and act like it. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you regain massive amounts of energy. You stop trying to be understood and start focusing on being unshakable. Let them misunderstand your silence. Let them gossip about your focus. Let them mock your calm. None of it touches you. You're built different now. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I no longer explain my peace. I protect it. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior, Confucius. Let's pause and breathe together. Because if you've made it this far, it means one thing: you're done living on autopilot. You're ready to master your energy like the Stoics did, through discipline, clarity, and deep self-awareness. You see, life won't slow down for you. The world will keep pulling, yelling, distracting, and tempting. But you're building something stronger now. You've learned that energy isn't about caffeine, hustle, or motivation. It's about what you choose to allow in. It's about what you protect with silence. It's about what you say no to without guilt. Remember what you just walked through. You cut off energy vampires. You controlled what entered your mind. You paused before reacting. You became ruthless with your priorities. You said no without apology. You protected your mornings like a ritual. And you stopped explaining yourself to people who don't even deserve access. That's not just energy mastery. That's self-mastery. That's Stoicism alive and breathing inside of you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do. Only what you do. That's your focus now. Not the noise, but your own calm, controlled, intentional movement." The world can't mess with someone who doesn't flinch, who speaks less and listens more, who watches chaos but chooses peace, who doesn't chase but attracts, who doesn't explain but embodies. So carry this energy into your next morning, your next week, your next life chapter. Let them wonder what changed. Let them feel the shift. Let your silence do the talking. And always remember, your energy is your responsibility. And when you protect it, you become someone they can't distract, disturb, or defeat. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I master my energy. I master my life. If this video gave you value, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it, comment your biggest lesson, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful Stoic wisdom. Your journey is just beginning.